Welcome, time travelers, and welcome, new time travelers. As always, if you're new to this channel and enjoy learning about history one event at a time, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today, we're going to start out in 1204 when Alexis V, the last Greek emperor of United Byzantium, fled Constantinople in the face of the Fourth Crusade. That's another country that I would want to hit more upon in the vlog about not only the US presidents, but like rulers of other countries. So we'll touch more about Alexis V and the Greek emperor and presidents, and if they have presidents, and their ruling party. Now, in 1606 is when the Union flag, precursor to the Union Jack, was adopted as the national flag of Great Britain. In 1777, brought us American statesman Henry Clay, who sought to shed the country from sectional discord over slavery, was born in Hanover County, Virginia. On this day in 1861, when Fort Sumter, one of the few military installations in the South still in the federal hands, came under fire from Confederate guns in Charleston, South Carolina, thus initiating the American Civil War. 1892 is when a patent for the first portable typewriter was issued in the United States. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have actually learned how to use a typewriter. My mom, mainly my mom, had said about she wanted me to learn how to use a typewriter. 2 years later, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away at the age of 63 in 1945. Now, we're gonna be learning more about FDR and the rest of the 44 presidents. Because one of the presidents served 2 non-consecutive terms. Just don't remember exactly which one right offhand. And 2 years later, in 1947, is when American comedian David Letterman, best known as the host of his long-running late-night show, was born. Our next stop will be in 1961, when Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human in outer space. 2 years later, in 1963, the U.S. Navy announced its continuing construction of 22 attack submarines, similar to the Thresher, but is restarting their structural design. The next stop in the historical timeline is 1970, when the Greek military tribunal returned guilty verdicts against 27 of 34 persons charged with seduction. On this date in 1981, NASA launched the first space shuttle, Columbia, which was designed to orbit Earth, transport people and cargo to and from orbiting spacecraft, and glide to a runway landing on its return to Earth. The second event is from 1981 is when American Joe Louis, world heavyweight boxing champion from 1937 to 1949, passed away at the age of 66. 2 years later, going back to NASA, another segment that I'm also thinking about doing has to do with science. And with that, I'm actually going to be collaborating with my brother on that. Okay, back to history. 2 years later, in 1983, Harold Washington was elected the first African American mayor of Chicago. 1989 is when American boxer Sugar Ray Robinson, a 6-time world champion who was considered by many to have been the best fighter in history, passed away at the age of 67. Our next stop will be in 2007 when the world's largest food company, Nestle SA, announces its purchase of the baby food company Gerber. Gerber dominates the American baby food market. Now, I know that Gerber, not only do they sell baby food, but if I'm not mistaken, they also do life insurance. I want to say it's life insurance. 2010 brought us the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 8.62 points to finish at 11,005.97, its first closure above 11,000 points in 19 months. Damn, it took them a little over a year, like a year and a half, to rise that much. Huh. And finally, in 2014, a forest fire swept into the port city of Vallecillo, Chile, destroying several thousand homes and claiming the lives of at least 16 people before it extinguished several days later. And with that, we return to 2024 and our current history. Until next time.